Hi, my name is Yuna Serenita. I'm a student of University of Tanjung Pura. Today, I will bring up the discussion of Chapter 3 HRM with the topic of Equal Employment Opportunity. EEO means freedom from discrimination on the basis of protected classes such as race, color, sex, national origin, religion, age, disability, and genetic information. The basic principle of EEO is that every person, regardless of attributes such as race, gender, or sexual orientation, has an equal opportunity to find employment based on merit. EEO is important because it sets the baseline for how people should treat each other at work. I read the HR headline on my textbook that talks about sexual harassment at the United Nations. The United Nations is struggling with a series of sexual harassment complaints as it strives to protect human rights globally. Speaking of sexual harassment, it refers to actions that are sexually directed, are unwanted, and subject the worker to adverse employment conditions or create a hostile work environment. Sexual harassment can occur between a boss and a subordinate, among coworkers, and when non-employees have business contacts with employees. Sexual harassment include unwelcome sexual advances, requests for sexual favors, and other verbal or physical harassment of a sexual nature in the workplace or learning environment. Sexual harassment is unwelcome conduct of a sexual nature which makes a person feel offended, humiliated, and or intimidated, while sexual assault is an act in which one intentionally sexually touches another person without that person's consent. What I know something about sexual harassment in US is based on 2017 MSN poll. It was found that 31% of people in the US have been sexually harassed in the workplace. 45% of women said that they were sexually harassed, and 15% of men said they were. Next, I will discussing about disparate treatment and disparate impact. Disparate treatment occurs when members of one group are treated differently from others. For example, if female applicants must take a special skills test not given to male applicants, then disparate treatment may be occurring. Disparate impact occurs when members of a protected category are substantially underrepresented as a result of employment decisions that work to their disadvantage. For example, when an employer has a policy that it will only hire individuals who are a certain minimum age or who can live a certain minimum wage. Now, I will discuss about bona fide occupational qualification or BFOQ. In some rare circumstances, the very nature of the job requires us to choose candidates based on what are otherwise protected characteristics. The law allows for employment considerations through what is known as BFOQ. A BFOQ exists in narrow circumstances when a protected characteristic can legally be used to make an employment decision, requires a business necessity, relationship to legitimate business goals, essential to business survival. It is important to understand that employers can never use race or skin color as a BFOQ. One of the best ways to understand BFOQ exception is to look at examples where the courts have allowed what would otherwise be considered discriminatory practices. Workplace harassment is another form of unlawful discrimination. Employers must not only grant all genders equal pay and opportunities, they must also remedy any sexual harassment situations that are known or of which the employer should be aware. This includes both harassment of lower-tier employees by a manager or executive and sexual harassment among coworkers. Title 7 of the Civil Rights Act prohibits an employer from treating you differently or less favorably because of your sex, which is defined to include pregnancy, sexual orientation, and gender identity. This law also prohibits employment decisions based on stereotypes about abilities and traits associated with gender. Moreover, the Equal Pay Act requires employers to give male and female employees equal pay for equal work. This means that employers have to pay men and women equally for doing substantially the same work at the same workplace. Related to Equal Pay Act that I previously mentioned, the differences in pay between men and women in the same jobs may be allowed because of difference in seniority, differences in performances, differences in quality and or quantity of production, factors other than sex such as skill, effort, and working conditions. Nowadays, sex and gender issues can be found on workplace. To manage sex and gender issues at workplace, as the manager, I would give education to my workers about these issues, including sexual harassment, work during pregnancy, fair pay, and work-life balance. I will ensure that the employees already understand about it and put that as a value. Next, I will be transparent about the pay. Besides that, I also will give the same opportunity to all employees with giving them a fair promotion. Lastly, if there are any problems regarding to sex or gender issues, I will invite the third party or outside course that is more professional in this field to handle this issue. I also read the textbook and read the statement about breaking the glass. Some of the most common means used to break the glass are establish formal mentoring programs for women and members of racial or ethnic minorities, provide opportunities for career rotation into operations, marketing, and sales for individuals who have shown talent in accounting, HR, and other areas, increase the memberships of top management and boards of directors to include women and individuals of color, establish clear goals for retention and progression of protected category individuals and hold managers accountable for achieving these goals, allow for alternative work arrangements for employees, particularly those balancing work or family responsibilities. I also watched the video given by the lecturer. The video is about how to break the glass ceiling without breaking ourselves. The woman talked about something to make our perspective from exhausting to transformational, which we need to have a firm grasp of three key things, namely clarity of our purposes, clarity of where we spend our energy, and clarity of our key relationships. The lessons that I can get from the woman's explanation is that we don't have to do something as the society tells us to do. The key is to being intentional with our time and energy, so that we can focus on the moment that matter the most. With those three clarity, we can break the glass ceiling without breaking ourselves, and we can lead a life purpose that is transformational. Related to sexual harassment, the potential sexual harassers happen at workplace can be supervisors, customers, vendors, co-workers, former employees, and other employees. There is two types of sexual harassment, namely quid pro quo, which is a harassment in which employment outcomes are linked to the individual granting sexual favors. For example, an employee may be promised a promotion, a special rise, or a desirable work assignment, but only if the employee grants some sexual favors to the supervisor. Next, hostile environment is harassment that exists when an individual's work performance or psychological well-being is unreasonably affected by intimidating or offensive working conditions. For example, the harassment may include actions such as commenting on appearance or attire, telling jokes that are suggestive or sexual in nature, allowing revealing photos and posters to be on display, or making continual requests to get together after work that can lead to the creation of a hostile work environment. Next, there is a statement of affirmative action might be affected by growing workforce diversity, and I personally agree with it. Affirmative action refers to policies that actively promote equal opportunity in the workplace or in education for people regardless of their race, gender, national origin, sexual orientation, and other factors. Workforce diversity has been the main reason of unhealthy work environment because it often leads to discrimination. Therefore, affirmative action should be implemented as the growing workforce diversity in order to avoid and minimizing the discrimination and realize equal opportunity to all employees. Now, I will talk about individuals with disabilities, where it means all individuals, including those who have long-term physical, mental, intellectual, or sensory impairments, which is in interaction with various attitudinal. Now, I will talk about individuals with disabilities, where it means all individuals, including those who have long-term physical, mental, intellectual, or sensory impairments which in interaction with various attitudinal and environmental barriers hinders their full and effective participation in society on an equal. However, they still can have equal work opportunity even though they've got disabilities because the Americans with Disabilities Act prohibits discrimination against people with disabilities and guarantees equal opportunities for individuals with disabilities in employment, transportation, public accommodation, state and local government services, and telecommunications. Lastly, I watched the second video that given by the lecturer. The video is about equal employment opportunity that exploring the law discrimination in the workplace and the agencies that responsible for preventing it. The speaker explained about the definition of EEO, which is the term that used to describe laws, regulations, and process related to fair treatment of employees. Next, about the EEO laws, where it prohibits specific types of job discrimination in the workplace, and its exists on the federal, state, and local levels, and are created following the same basic model as other laws. Lastly, the agencies, where there are two main enforcement bodies, namely Equal Employment Opportunity Commission (EEOC), that responsible in developing guidelines and overseeing compliance, and the Office of Federal Contract Compliance Programs (OFCCP), that responsible in developing guidelines and overseeing compliance with anti-discrimination laws relative to executive orders. Lessons I can get from watching the video is that EEO is employment that is not affected by illegal discrimination. It is a broad-reaching concept that essentially requires employers to make status-blind employment decisions which are made without regard to an individual's personal characteristics. That's all I can tell you. Thank you for your kind attention.